What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Rival Finisher. The Finisher is a spring-powered rival pistol that uses a detachable magazine. Let's get into the review. Included is the blaster itself, magazine, balls, and the instructions. So if you're familiar with the rival Kronos, the Finisher is a very similar platform in many ways, except it uses a detachable magazine, which is a very big difference. But if you see this and you're like, I'm pretty sure that's a Kronos, no, it's a different blaster, it's a new product. But yeah, I get it, they're very similar. So external features of the Finisher, starting up at the front, there's no in-strike barrel lug because this is a rival blaster, but when you're firing, the chambering thing actually sticks out of the muzzle and pops in and out, which is kind of amusing. You're not supposed to touch it or manipulate it, I'm just pointing it out because it looks funny. And up on the top of the blaster, we have a single rival-style Picatinny rail, and down below we have the magazine, which is by far the most interesting part of this blaster. So to remove the magazine, you strike the magazine release, which is right next to the magazine, and then pull out. And this is the included magazine. It holds 7 Nerf Rival rounds. The form factor is very similar to existing rival magazines, except this one's opaque orange instead of clear. But to clarify the compatibility here, the Finisher blaster is compatible with the 7 and 12 round rival mags like this one. It goes in fine, it feeds fine. I've tested this, I've tested the other 7 round mag, they work great. However, the Finisher magazine is not compatible with any other blaster. This little notch right here interferes with it going up into the magazine. You can technically insert this magazine into other rival blasters, but then the spring detent is caught, so it won't feed. So this magazine is only compatible with the Finisher. You can't use this anywhere else, but the Finisher can use other Nerf Rival mags. Now that I've clarified that, I'll go over the new feature of this new mag. So you can load the Finisher mag up top, just like a normal rival mag if you want to. But there's a new design element right here which allows you to side load by pulling down on this tab and then unlocking it here. So then you pull down the little sheet and you can actually side load like that. When the magazine is outside of the blaster, I don't see any reason whatsoever to load the magazine this way. I would just load it from the top. However, when the magazine is inside the blaster, you're able to pull down on this tab and then open up the mag to side load without removing the magazine from the blaster. And when you're done loading, you unlock the spring at the bottom to re-engage the spring tension in order to feed. Now the magazine system is kind of the reason you buy a Finisher compared to a Kronos, so I tested this exhaustively, and it's not very easy to use. I don't like this. I think it's a pretty cool idea, and hats off to Hasbro for trying it, but after using it, it's just very cumbersome. It's difficult to use. It's just so much easier to pull the mag out and then quickly load like this and shove it in super fast. But the feature is there. It technically works. It's just not for me. It's pretty cumbersome, and I think most users are just gonna completely ignore it. You can't innovate unless you occasionally innovate and do things that nobody cares about. I think this is gonna be one of those things. But that is it for the magazine system. Continuing the overview, they have a hole in the trigger guard for a carabiner or perhaps a sling if you want to use it that way. Interestingly, they do not have the lanyard mount at the grip. Behind that is the trigger. This is a flat-faced trigger, not a round-faced trigger, so it feels like a competition gun almost. It's a little weird. The trigger pull is pretty standard. This blaster does not have slam fire. Flat triggers are traditionally used in competition guns, and it's interesting that they put a competition flat trigger on the blaster that they did not put iron sights on. It's like, okay. But other than that, it works like a regular trigger. Only present on the left-hand side of the blaster is the unjam button and the safety. When the trigger safety is in the down position, you're not able to pull the trigger, but when you raise it, you're able to fire. And the unjamming button allows you to unjam the slide in the event of a jam. However, this blaster allows you to prime multiple times. I haven't modified this product. That's in factory form. So the unjamming button won't be used too often. I haven't needed to use it, but it does work. Now up to the priming handle. The Finisher is a spring-powered blaster to prime, pull back, and push forward. The strength required to prime this blaster is similar to other rival blasters, so it's what you should expect. However, I had a number of feeding issues with this product, so it's not an especially smooth prime because it works and it's fine when it works, but it just jams so often that I can't call it a smooth priming system. But you'll see that in the firing demo, and I'll cover that in my opinion. In the very rear of the blaster is a priming indicator, so after you prime, it turns orange, and when you pull the trigger, it goes away. It works the same way as other Nerf priming indicators. And now down to the grip. It's a large ergonomic grip, very smooth, and it's very comfortable. It's in line with other rival grips. Rival grips tend to be a little larger, more adult-friendly grips. But it's very simple. It doesn't have the finger notch, which some people are gonna like and some people don't. I happen to like it quite a lot. I think it's a comfortable grip. It works pretty well. So that is an external overview of the Rival Finisher. Let's see it fire. Operating the Rival finisher is kind of hit and miss. When it was working fine, I liked it quite a lot. But it worked pretty much only when I was extremely deliberate and very slow and methodical when priming and pulling the trigger. When I tried to go a little bit faster, and you know me, I gotta go fast. If someone's shooting at you, you're not gonna sit there and deliberately and stare at your blaster and prime. You're going fast because you want to return fire. It's more battle conditions, and under those conditions, when you're trying to cut corners, go fast, it jams considerably. I thought I might have a lemon, so I went out and bought a second one, and it jams in the exact same way at the exact same rate. So it's my opinion that it's not quite as refined as other Nerf products. But outside of the jams, it operated very much like a Kronos. If you've shot a Kronos, just imagine putting a magazine in it and you're imagining shooting a finisher. It's pretty much the same thing. And to compare the finisher to other blasters on the market, I put it up on my chronograph, and I achieved an average velocity of 85 feet per second with Nerf Rival rounds, which is a little bit slower than that 90 to 100 FPS average that you can expect from most Nerf Rival blasters. So that is the objective information I can provide on the Nerf Rival finisher. Now to my personal opinion. Overall, I'm a little disappointed in the finisher purely because of the rate of jams. It just jams too frequently. And it's not a lemon. I went out and bought a different one, and they both jam in the exact same way. So if you want to go fast and use it in a battle, you're probably going to jam it in your battle. If you're just a target shooter or a plinker, a jam isn't that big a deal. But for a battle blaster, reliability is absolutely number one. So for that reason, if you buy Nerf blasters to shoot at other people while they're shooting at you, I don't recommend using the finisher. But if you're a target shooter or a plinker and you really want a Kronos with a magazine, you can check out the finisher and just tolerate the jams. But just a hypothetical argument, even if it worked perfectly, it doesn't. The reliability is not there, but let's just pretend it is. When would you buy this? Do you want a primary? Check out the Apollo or the Helios. It's just a better platform. On those products, there's more points of contact to stabilize the product to shoot more accurately and more aggressively. The reloads and priming it are also a little bit easier because it's not a pistol platform. Those are larger products. But if you're like, no, Coop, those are too big. I really want a pistol. Why do you want a pistol if it's not going into a holster? If you want to put it on a holster, buy a Kronos because it'll actually fit. So it's a weird tweener product. It's not a primary, not really. It's not a full-on primary. It's not a pistol. So it's not even a subgun. It's like a new class between pistol and subgun. I don't know. But it's a bizarre product. It doesn't feed very well, and on that point alone, I cannot recommend you purchase one. But I'm sure some of you will anyway, so if you'd like to, there will be a purchase link in the description box below. That concludes my video review of the Nerf Rival finisher. Hopefully I laid out all the information for you to make an educated purchase decision. If you'd like to buy one, again, link in the description box below. That concludes this video. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.